Hi guys, Kirk and Jay here with Kirk Giordano Plastering and my good pal Jerry Pozo. Today we're going to explain some procedures on what we're going to do to this custom built home here. Now the fella who's the actual builder on this is my pal, I don't know if you could see that, Michael Feiner. He is a realtor as well as a builder, and I've known Michael Feiner for 25 years. I've done about 5 or 6 of these guys for him. What we're going to be doing is we're going to use the product that Jerry's very familiar with, because he's one of the tech reps that goes around the country and tells folks the do's and don'ts about this product. It's a BMI. It's the base coat with a silo and the acrylic finish. You want to take the lead on that, Jerry? I know you're better at it than I am.
Well, you know, Kirk and I have been in the business a long time, and we've traditionally done field mix plaster. The last 20 years have ushered in the pre-mixed and engineered products, and also the pre-mixed materials come in an environmental friendly silo, which on a job site like we have here in a very heavy residential street with cars up and down and trees, it's hard to put 25 tons of sand, bags and pallets of material, banding, wrappers. It would make a mess.
Amen.
So an environmental friendly silo here would be the perfect means of delivery from its point of mixing to the point of application.
And we are also going to do the acrylic finish coat. You want to explain that, because you're a better speaker than I am.
Well, I think we wanted to achieve an overall uniformity look and prevent cracking. So whereas stucco finishes traditionally give you unlimited options, there are some minor limitations, and hairline cracking is something that most homeowners dislike to see. So the acrylic polymers can bridge hairline cracking. They can give you a uniform color. They can also offer the owner a family of warranties, which you will not get with a standard stucco finish. Also, if you wanted intense colors, the acrylics would be the way to go.
That being said, that's versus a cementitious color finish, which is porous. We're talking about an acrylic finish which flexes. And if you're going to use an acrylic finish, which the BMI he is referring to, I've used about, I've done it many, many times. And you have to put a primer first. You primer the whole house. It's like painting, then you apply that finish. Jerry is in a hurry. We're going to have breakfast today because he's in town to do a show somewhere else. But I thought, hey, Jerry, I'm about to show this house anyway, so pleasure. I'm glad you had to.
Kirk.
Maybe after this evening we'll have some dinner or something, man, while you're here for a little while longer. But anyway, Jay and I are going to walk the rest of this because I want to show a couple more things and explain settling issues and why it's important to have your roof on, why it's important to have all the sheetrock on. And the roof is going on tomorrow, actually, which is good because we want the dead weight definitely before we do the color coat, but it's always nice to have the dead weight of a house on before we do the base coat. Otherwise, the hammering can crack the base coat, and I've had that happen on my last job, which we had about 10 fellas who couldn't speak English, and I kept telling them, guys, you're knocking my plaster off. We're putting it on. Not to be insulting to anybody who can't speak English, because my mother couldn't speak English well. She spoke French and Italian and Portuguese. But anyhow, we're going to walk it, and I'm going to show some tips that I recommend to any homeowners, and actually to a lot of professional general contractors, because the last fellow said, Kirk, I built 20 houses, but never did one in stucco, so I gave some advice which he conveniently forgot. So I want to make sure that you folks understand what we're talking about. All right, guys, I'll show you the back wall too, just to prove a point. This is the way Michael Feiner does everything. He goes above and beyond what's necessary. Notice he's got a nice membrane around all of these doors and windows. He even leaves the wrap around. It's even got these plastic to protect it. Michael Feiner does not mess around. He runs a very tight ship. He got steel straps everywhere. And one of the things that Jerry Pozo recommended, and the fellow from the Lath and Plastering Institute at the last lecture I went of Jerry's, Frank Nunes, expansion joints. Generally, I use expansion joints only on commercial projects, but As these fellows point out, and even my good buddy Tom with Ironwood, who's a 40-year engineer, general contractor, this wood can shrink. When the sun beats down on here, the wood could expand and shrink, causing hairline cracks in the stucco. So we are going to place expansion joints systematically around the place. Michael Feiner and I will look at it and say, gee whiz, it'll look good at these particular areas and whatnot. That way, when, not if, when this wood shrinks, we don't want any hairline cracking. But as Jerry pointed out earlier, we're using one of the best stucco systems available today for this particular house. Okay, lastly guys, see these parapets. Now originally, Michael wanted me to do these parapets, and I was very, very hesitant. I said, oh, come on, Mike, I don't want to do this. If something happens with the roof, they drag me in for other reasons just because I did the parapets. Why not have them flash it and cap these? That lasts a lot longer. Check out the details on this bottom one. Well, fortunately, he took my advice, and so the roofer's going to bring his up here, and they're going to put a flashing detail here. We'll put wood or a J-trim up here and do it, and then the cap goes on. Can you see the church over there? There's a synagogue, a big church. We did that 14 years ago for Mike Feiner. Way over there on the corner, but anyway, I thought I'd point that out because we're up here. Anyhow, we're going to get off of this roof, and Jerry wanted to point out one more thing about that product, so we're going to go down and talk with him before we end it. Lastly, guys, you might ask, why use the 690 BMI?
Well, Kirk, I think it makes a lot of sense to use the BMI 690 because it's a pre-mixed and it's an engineered product. So unlike field mix plaster where you're constantly mixing materials throughout the day, you're shoveling sand, you're adding bags of cement, you're pouring in water, that's a lot to remember for one person, and to try and have an even mix each and every time is virtually impossible. With the BMI 690, it is an ICC approved product, which means it's an alternative method of application. We can provide the material in either a traditional scratch, then brown, a double back method of application, which is the preferred method by most contractors, or you can apply it one pass of the scratch and the brown up to 3/4 to 7/8 of an inch in thickness. This way it melds together better on the wall, cures more evenly, and there's less potential for cracking.
Absolutely. I've used the product. It's strong as hell. It's hardly, when it cures, it is strong. We double it up. We put the scratch and the brown on immediately, darby it, and guess what, guys? We don't mess with it and destroy the packs. We leave it alone. We just darby it, boom, we're done. It's so much more convenient than the traditional having, say on this job, drop 20 tons and 60 bags. It's kind of outdated. This newer system works very well, especially for guys like me. It takes a lot of the stress off me. Jerry, I sure do appreciate you coming out, explaining all this stuff.
Anytime.
All right. Well, we thank you folks for watching, and as usual, we'll see you guys on the next one. Once again, folks, we thank you for watching, and I really enjoy all your comments.
If you guys like this video, please click the like button down below, and also if you enjoy what we do, subscribe to our channel so we can keep making these videos for you.
My name is Kirk.
And Jay.
We thank you for watching, and from the entire Giordano family, we'll see you on the next one.